What's going on, y'all? So today makes 20 years since Get Rich or Die Tryin' dropped and debuted in stores. For those who don't know, Get Rich or Die Tryin' is 50 Cent's debut album. And y'all, the album dropped again February 6, 2003. Like, you really, a lot of people, I say this, I'm gonna sound like an old head when I say this. And I don't like sounding like an old head because I don't like the back in my day type talk. But seriously, you had to live through that era to feel the magnitude of 50 Cent when 50 dropped. When he dropped this album, I felt like the world stood still. That's how, like, that's one of the biggest hip hop debuts I've ever seen in my life. Seriously. The whole hood was bumping 50 album. Everybody wanted to, I mean, dude had people dressing like him, buying G Unit sneakers, wearing them G Unit tank tops. The brother came out, had a game come out, two games come out, to represent him because he was just that big of an entity. Seriously. Like, I remember when this album came out, everybody on the block was riding around, driving through Chicago playing this album. And I'm just like, man, it felt like a meteor hit Earth. Seriously. Like, the album was flawless to me, front to back. Even like the intro. First you hear the $50 coin flipping and then the gun cocking, right? Then you hear, "What up, gangster, fam? What up, cuz? What up, blood?" Like, come on, what? Like I remember hearing that. Like, yeah, this is something I ain't never heard before. This is something I have never heard before. Truthfully, to me, and again, I've been a hip hop connoisseur for a long time, and hip hop has been everywhere, since the beginning. But I really feel like 50 was an artist that really globalized gangster music in a different way. People in Africa, people in countries that don't even speak English were knowing every single words of these songs that 50 was out here making. Like, his impact was felt in a major way. First week he sold 872,000 copies. Second week he sold 822,000 copies. To this day, the album went diamond. That's 10 million albums sold. Worldwide, 10 million plus. So when I think about these songs, again, Patiently Waiting, and I'm not even an Eminem fan, but M verse on that song, flawless. Right? You got Mini Man. Like, first of all, Mini Man got one of the most iconic lines in rap history, and I don't even gotta say the line. Y'all know what line I'm talking about. Mini Man y'all know what line I'm talking about in Mini Man. Got one of the most iconic lines I've heard in rap for real. They sent chills down your body when you really heard it. Then of course in the club, High All the Time. If David can go against Goliath with a stone, I can go at Nas and Jigga, both for the throne. And I'm like, damn, nah, for real. The dude is really out here staking his claim in rap, and he was moving like, he was a force. And I remember Jay-Z saying he sat when he heard 50 was coming, and he heard how 50 sounded over the Dre production and how he was delivering them songs. He said he told everybody in Rockefeller, y'all better drop right now, because when this 50 Cent bomb hit, it's going to hit, and it's going to hit like a meteor. You're going to feel it. And you better flood the streets now, because when it comes, it's going to be like a typhoon. And that's what it was. I even remember his long time enemy, Ja Rule and Irv Gotti talking about when they heard him over Dre production. It's like when they heard him rapping and he put it together like that, they said, "Oh no, man." He said he told Rule, "Hey, you get ready for war." Cause it was on, like, dude had every type of song you could think of. And when I'm talking about a songwriter, see, writing songs is a skill, it's an art. 50 Cent knows how to make a song. Like, his hook writing skills are immaculate. When you hear a song like If I Can't, you hear High All the Time, even songs that's not even on Get Rich. Window Shopper, the hook. You hear Get in My Car. When you hear I Know You Don't Love Me. When you hear 21 Questions, he wrote the hook for Nate Dogg to sing. When you hear songs like again, Don't Push Me, Back Down, Like My Style, all that, like that's immaculate songwriting skill. And it can't be denied. Seriously, like, Back Down is so tough. My nose itching and stuff, yeah. Back Down so tough, bro. Like, I remember when I first heard that, I'm like, yeah. I was 10 years old, bro, when this came out. And I was in awe. And I'm like, yeah, I knew what I was hearing was monumental. It was monumental. You had to been there to feel that. 50 was everywhere. BET, 106 in Park, TRL, had all the white kids loving his music, the black kids loving his music, Hispanics, Indians, Asians, everybody you could think of, all the demographics were all in on 50. And he had the all eyes on 50 Cent with Sway interviewing him. The documentaries was coming out about him. Again, he had the street credibility, songwriting skill. Had the backing of Dre, Eminem. He had, the look. He had a certain appeal about him, made the ultimate rapper. And it was like even in the club video. The setup is basically Dre and Eminem trying to create the ultimate super rapper. And 50 was packaged as that, and that's exactly what he was. I knew like 50 was everywhere, and again, he couldn't be denied. At award shows, shoot, even with his pick of the litter with women, dating Megan Good. What's the Vivica, and Vivica was fine. This was Vivica when she was 2 can play that game, Vivica. Before, that was that era. When Vivica 2 could play that game, Vivica was finer than a damn ticket on a dashboard. For real. She was fine as hell. And again, man, it's just like the from PIMP, that hook like that, bro. That hook. Then he had the remix with Snoop, and he put Banks and Buck them on the song. Like, yeah, bro, that's just a different type of aura about him. That album is one of, again, a flawless album to me. Seriously. Even the tracks you might deem are skippable are still like dope songs. What people might skip Polar Rich. Some people might skip Gotta Make It to Heaven. I thought Gotta Make It to Heaven and Polar Rich was both tough. Even Like My Style. Again, Life's on the Line was a bonus. The bonus tracks, You Not Like Me, fire. So, yeah, man, I remember when the album dropped and the world stood still. And to this day, I've yet to feel an artist who had the same type of impact on the debut. I've yet to feel that momentum. I've yet to feel an album that felt like, yo, this is going to do more damage than what we've seen in rap before. Like, this is really on to a different type of wavelength. And 50's momentum caused the G Unit album to go platinum. Banks and Buck was dope rappers on their own, but they both went platinum. Yayo went gold, and we know Yayo ain't the strongest rapper. Then the G Unit soundtrack, 50 had a movie come out about him. All the momentum, it just made him into this legendary figure, but it all started with this rap album. And once again, man, it's like numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. It was just like when we seen dude coming, like, yeah. It was the best-selling album of 2003. It's really one of the greatest albums of all time, seriously, and especially in the hip-hop genre. And I'm glad I was living to experience that type of the 50 Cent mania that happened. Because, again, the brother had people buying the Reeboks, selling Reeboks out the stores, wearing do-rags as fashion statements outside, not with the cape out. Because remember, brother used to wear the cape out. That was a little funny. 50 wasn't wearing the cape out. He wasn't doing it like that. It was, so... Yeah, man, I feel like it was a pivotal point in gangster rap where gangster rap was at the pinnacle, at the height of its height. Ironically, though, years later, we saw hip-hop turn upside down from the gangster rap era to the backpack type era, where we saw Kanye West overtake 50 when the Curtis album dropped and the Graduation album came out. You saw hip-hop tilt on its axis and leaning towards another direction where people started to get tired of the gangster hardcore rap and wanted to get into something more not mainstream, but more, I don't know if we want to say conscious, but backpack type. And then we saw the introduction of Kanye, Lupe, artists like that. You saw the years later Kid Cudi them came around, but again, Wale's and J. Cole, so on and so forth, came later on. But yeah, man, but again, yeah, bro. That brothers wanted to try to wear bulletproof vests and make it fashionable because 50 was around. And it all started with this album right here. I'm trying to think, like, I remember even like first time I heard Bloodhound on the joint. That joint so crazy. That was like a down south sounding song. He had Buck on there, a down south artist, but 50 was able to ride the beat and sell it to you as if he was a southern type of dude, like he's been rapping on them beats forever. So again, to the ability he had to make himself to sound comfortable on any type of song. Even outside of this album, I think about how he sounded on songs like Disco Inferno, to make Out of Control with Mobb Deep. Uh, again, to do stuff like again, that's like I said, Get in My Car, um, In My Hood, I'm Supposed to Die Tonight, and then go and do a song like Just a Little Bit, to do even I Want to Get to Know You on G Unit album. So Stunt 101, just he's a versatile artist that was able to hone his craft, and this was his craft being honed at the highest level. And some people wonder, when can we get this type of 50? And I think that you may not ever see a 50 like this well, like a well-oiled machine like this, because when you broke and you in poverty, you got a different type of hunger, a different type of drive to prove that you are who you say you are and you here to stay. That's what he was doing. And it led to him having a weird contentious relationship with Jay-Z over the years. It was even before then with I'm About a Dollar, what the fuck is 50 Cent type stuff. You know what 50 did, How to Rob, and all of that. But yeah, it was, and 50 was feuding with a lot of the artists in New York City. Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Nas, Ja Rule, Murder Inc. Yeah, man, having issues with Fredro Starr, Sticky Fingers, a lot of different artists. He was controversial all in all, but again, the brother can make some excellent music, and Get Rich or Die Tryin is evidence of that. Y'all let me know what y'all favorite song on the album was. How did y'all feel when the album first came out? Do y'all remember like how old y'all were? I mean, you can figure it out, but do you remember like if you went to buy that? Did you go buy the album? Did somebody give it to you? Did you have it? Did you bootleg the album? Which a lot of people did. I know a lot of people went to the stores though to get it too. Matter of fact, Get Rich was so popular. My granddad bought the album to see what it was about. My granddad wasn't that old. At the time, my grandfather was like in his like late 40s or something like that at the time. But he bought the album to really just see what the fuss was about. And he was playing it in his studio. My grandfather was a musician. Played the drums and other little instruments, but mainly the drums. He had a studio downstairs in the lower basement, and he was playing it down there, bobbing his head, trying to see what was going on. 50 had everybody saying I love you like a fat kid love cake. So Get Rich is always just an iconic album for me, and that's something I'm never gonna forget, because again, hearing the artist, that hungry, that hunger in the artist's voice different. Hearing Wankster, like you could say it was like, yeah, it was a different type of feel. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.